Hey, good afternoon, Nighthawks. I want to go through a few things with you just momentarily over on chapter 12 and just kind of cover a few items to make sure that you have an understanding. Some of the things that you will cover in chapter 12, um, the required reporting means in healthcare, how HIPAA allows disclosures, key state and federal reporting requirements, and then your role as a future health information professional. By the end of chapter 12, you should be able to understand when healthcare providers must share patient information to protect public health and safety. You should be able to see the big picture. Federal and state laws require reporting certain protection health information to protect the health and safety of a community. Information collected this way is not public information. Uh, Patient privacy and confidentiality are still protected at all times. And something to think about is when might protecting everyone be more important than one person's own privacy? And that's something to keep in mind when we're thinking about health informatics. Excuse me. Um, we also, you want to make sure you're taking a look at how privacy laws allow mandatory reporting. HIPAA privacy rule has public interest and benefit activities exceptions. Um, and you'll want to know some of and this is Rule 12, you'll want to know some of the critical features such as the no patient authorization requirement, no opportunity for patient to object, things of this nature. There are three major HIPAA requirements: a notice of privacy practices, preemption, which is state law often wins over federal, and then the accounting of disclosures. And this is where you're going to track what you report. Um, the protection of children is something that you'll cover in chapter 12 as well. The federal capital law provides framework and states create specific requirements. The four types of abuse that you'll cover is neglect or failure to provide basic needs, physical abuse, and this is when intentional physical harm has taken place, sexual abuse, and this is any sexual contact with a child, or emotional abuse, which is going to be psychological harm. Some of the things to think about here is who. Anyone under the age 18 or disabled up to the age of 21 is the law in most states. You'll want to check your state to see what their age requirements are. As far as the how, an oral report immediately and then followed up with a written report to legal agencies. Good faith reporters have legal immunity. So, and this is basically stating if you make a report, there can't be any blowback on you. Um, and so these are some of the things that you'll want to think about when reading through chapter 12. Chapter 12 is also going to cover elder and disabled abuse. It's going to discuss who's protected, such as individuals 60 plus and adults with mental or physical disabilities causing functional limits. Once again, you want to refer to the state that you're in or that you plan on working in. Every state's a little different when it comes to those ages. There's several types of abuse. The six that are covered in chapter 12 are going to be physical, emotional, sexual, financial, neglect, abandonment, and these are some of those items. Also, you'll cover vital records, the recording of life events. The National Center for Health Statistics coordinates with states on how vital records are recorded, things such as birth certificates and death certificates. And so you want to make good notes on this section. Let me see here. You're also going to cover communicable diseases, how to prevent disease outbreaks. And every state's a little different on how that's reported, who must report, and how to report. So refer to the state that you're in. I think chapter 12 will cover this just very briefly in your text. Some of the things that you'll want to think about is timing. Usually within 24 hours, these reports are made. And as far as the classification is concerned, this is going to be based upon the epidemic potential and public health danger. Um, so just to keep this in mind, reportable deaths is something that's covered in chapter 12. when deaths must be investigated, the types of requiring reports, and who investigates is also covered in this, such as the medical examiner, coroner, sometimes both will work in conjunction with each other. There are national reporting requirements. You typically state is going to trump national, but once again, this is where we have to refer back to the state that we are working in, as every state is a little different. Medical device reporting is something that we will touch upon very briefly in this module and in Chapter 12. When to report, examples of medical device reporting, and then the reporting systems. MedWatch is one of these. So that is something that I want you to make note of as you're going through the chapter and the module both. Let me take a look here and see what else. Some key takeaways as far as your role is concerned. What does it mean to you? And this is where core principles come into play. Public health can override individual privacy. HIPAA has built-in exceptions for required reporting. Good faith reporting is legally protected. And then also keep in mind that state laws often take precedence over federal laws. These are a lot of things that we've discussed. And that's really, it's a kind of a short synopsis on Chapter 12. But Chapter 12 is a very important chapter. I'm trying to keep this one brief for you. You'll have another brief video for Chapter 13 coming up here in a moment. If you have any questions, always reach out to the professor of the course, whether that's myself or anyone else. I am always here no matter what to help you. So if you do have questions, reach out to me. Let me know what I can do to help you. Other than that, I want you to have a wonderful Nighthawk day. And just make sure that this is a very, very important section of the course as we begin coming up on the end of the semester. You're going to see a lot of this information on your finals, but more importantly, you're going to take a lot of this with you on into your professional career. So I want you to make sure that chapters 12, 13, 14, 15, these are very, very critical chapters for you to learn. These last 2 to 3 modules are very, very critical for not only your current academic success, but your future professional success. With that, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you, everyone, and have a great Nighthawk Nation day. Goodbye.